I'm using today the dressing for the sake of time. This is a pre-made Zoe's Kitchen Greek dressing that I love because all it's got is olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt, and some spices. And then the recipe that I provided for you, you can easily make that just like that, basic dressing. So that's what we're going to use. Here's a package of the quinoa that I use. It's an organic quinoa. It's very rich in protein and antioxidants, and it's a grain, so it makes the salad a lot more palatable and more substantial without having to add protein or some kind of meat to it. So it's very filling, and especially when you drench it with the correct dressing, it's so good. Like at Zoe's Kitchen, they have quinoa salad that I love, and that's what this recipe is inspired by. So I'm going to start with the roasted vegetables because this is going to take the most of my time. I have crushed garlic in here, and then I've kind of chopped up the vegetables in bite-sized pieces here. I have green squash, I have yellow squash, and then I have red small potatoes with the skin on, but of course I washed it really well. And then we have red onion. But you can do asparagus, you can do any type of, like, I don't know, butternut squash, or even any type of vegetables, eggplants, if you will, or bell peppers. So whatever vegetable that you like, you can incorporate that in here. So I'm just going to place this here in the baking pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drench it with probably about 3 cups of olive oil. I do extra virgin olive oil. It's so much better than just regular vegetable oil because it's a good fat. It's a monosaturated fat versus unsaturated fat that the vegetable oils are based out of. Even the corn oils, the canola oils and safflower oils that you're used to cooking, even though they're safe at high temperatures, now the research is saying because of the omega-6 fatty acids that are higher, it's more inflammatory in nature, and so it's something that you want to avoid. And so if you want to cook with the vegetable oil, the safest one you can use is organic coconut oil. And I've been talking about that a lot, right? I don't like to use it so much because the taste is so sweet and I can't get over that flavor, but I do use it for other things, you know. But if you like the taste of coconut oil, by all means use that, you know. I use it on my skin and on everything that I do. So I'm just going to drench this vegetable. Like I eyeball things, I don't use measuring cups. Mainly I'm not going to use it here because I don't have one here. So I'm just going to mix everything up here. Usually this baking pan is a little bit small because I have a lot of vegetables, because I saw a lot of you come and I want to make sure that you guys are all getting a sample of this. So remember I put garlic, crushed garlic, and then I put red potatoes. I have squash, green squash and yellow squash. Summer squash is what I'm using. And then I have red potatoes chopped up in bite-sized pieces. And then I have red onions. And then I drenched it with olive oil, probably about 3 tablespoons. And then you just kind of shake it up. Single layer is best for roasted vegetables. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to salt, pepper stuff. So I use sea salt. What kind of salt do you guys use? Sea salt, right? Why do you?
Himalayan salt I use.
Yeah. So you know about the processed salt, right? They're bleached, they're processed, and they're no good for you. Versus the sea salt has all the minerals that we need. And so any ingredient that you use, you want it to be, yes, Barbara.
But
Judy, I'm sorry.
The sea salt doesn't have iodine.
I know. There is a controversy with the iodine and iodine with thyroid and all these other things, but it's processed. The Morton salt is processed and it's bleached, and then they've added the preservatives and then the iodine. So the effects of it in your body, because the processed salt we don't know what to do with, you know, when it goes in, even though it's added the iodine for the sake of all the controversy around iodine and we lacking it in the diet, you might as well supplement it if you do find that you do lack the iodine, but you want some lab testing to validate that versus making sure you're getting it in your Morton salt. You know what I mean?
You can get sea salt with iodine. I have it.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah, I have. I have
So,
sea salt with iodine in it.
to be
Probably Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my Himalayan, somebody said Himalayan is sea salt. You want to make sure that it's the least processed salt as possible. Yeah, yeah. Those are usually good ones, and you can get them at Whole Foods and Farmers Market. I'm not sure if I would trust anything at Walmart. I haven't gone shopping there, but I know at Publix they have them. I have a tinged sea salt here. It's not white, it's not pure white. It's got a little bit of a beigey color to it because it's not processed. That's what I'm using today. And I'm just gonna eyeball this. And as we grow older, you know what I notice is a lot of my patients salt everything because your taste buds are kind of gone. But I'm gonna kind of go easy on the salt today. And then all I do is use some herbs. I'm gonna use basil, and then I'm gonna use thyme, and then I'm gonna use some Italian seasoning, and I have here rosemary. I just brought what I have. And these are the herbs that I typically use. They add flavor, but they don't add any additives to the vegetables. But you'd be surprised how much flavor it adds to it. And herbs are safe. They're dried, and they've got herbal antioxidative properties that you can add to your food, you know, in small amounts. And so, I mean, this is what you're eating, feeding yourselves every day. And so you might as well be feeding yourselves good things, right? And have full control over what you're putting in. So that's what we're doing here. It's very simple. So I put a lot of herbs, and it looks so good, and it looks so flavorful. I probably will add a little bit more, a pinch of salt, because I know on this side you guys would want a little bit more salt. But I'll try to make it like not too salty. Good. So I don't salt very much at all. I like things very bland. Because, you know, if you have too much salt, hypertension, CHF, coronary heart failures, and chronic heart failures, and all the other adult diseases that you might end up with, it's probably not a good idea to salt everything. Because then you're going to create this, you're going to retain fluid, and it's never a good thing. So my advice is never to salt food if you can help it. So that's in the oven for at 400 for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to keep flipping to make sure we're getting all sides of the vegetables roasted. I mean, to be honest with you, that pan is too small, so it's got depth to the vegetables. So I won't get it perfectly roasted, but it'll be good enough for today. And then I think I'm going to do quinoa salad. So who knows what quinoa is, and have you ever cooked with it? Yes? What do you do with it?
Boil it in water.
Yeah? So I cooked it. I cooked a little bit more than I should have, but I put it in the refrigerator after I cooked it. So what I did was, I got probably about 2.5 cups, and then I doubled the water. You can use water, or I forgot I bought vegetable broth. You can use vegetable broth. And you know what that does? What?
Good idea.
Yeah, vegetable broth, because it flavors. I found this by Emerald, and all it contains is filtered water and organic vegetable stock, and a little bit of organic cane sugar and sea salt, very little bit, no additives. If I were you though, if you had the time, I'd make my own vegetable broth. I put cabbage, carrots, I put some onions, and then I do cabbage, onions, potatoes, red potatoes, and then I'll just boil it, and then I make a broth of it. Oh, and I put celery. And then not the potatoes, I get rid of the potatoes, but everything else, I put it in the refrigerator for a while, and with the vegetable broth, I will make a smoothie out of it. And that's very detoxifying, especially with the cabbage. It doesn't sound like it's going to taste very good. Oh, I put tomatoes in there as well. And then I boil it, make vegetable broth. You can either use the broth and then use the vegetables to blend and then make a smoothie out of it, or, you know, you can buy the stock if you guys are feeling lazy to do so. But that vegetable, boiled vegetable goes a long way, and then you can use it for that detox juicing. If you juice it with a pinch of salt, it's really not that tasty. And then scientifically, cruciferous vegetable from the cabbage and then the carrots and then the tomatoes that you get, it's supposed to filter out, you're going to get good bowel movements, and it's supposed to filter out all the endothelial lining.